show what the new tool is. Hopefully I can get this going. Bear with me. It's not going to be too long though. This is a very useful thing though. Now this is up on my GitHub. I'll put the link, but I'm just going to show y'all that it is just HTML. It's just an HTML file that you download, and I zipped it up, you can see, so that your browser doesn't want to interpret it. Open it back up line. This is, well, actually, it's better if you are, because the links that I have on these things. But we'll just open this up. This is what it's going to look like to you when you open it up. So am I going right here? Maybe. I don't know. Okay. So I've got two data sets here. I mean, that's so intuitive right there. It says new data set. So I mean, don't do that, by the way. But I renamed them down here. Wait, no, I didn't. One of them's got 25,000 rows. And I'll fix it on version 2. But this new data set is the transactions that occurred. That's in the red. The red is stuff that happened after. The blue is my stuff. These are the documents on the OCC website that it went and pulled down. And I can show you the date imported is the day it came to my program, and the scan date is the day that they put it in their system. So there's a difference. You can see sometimes. I mean, this is over a period of time. But the maximum date is going to be this 2017-2/21. That's the first day that Lynn ever discovered a problem. That's like with 35 documents out of tens of thousands. I mean, it was a negligible problem, and they didn't discover it. Nothing was reported to me until 3-4. So, you know, a couple weeks after this, they found some that, but I knew exactly what it was and fixed it almost immediately. So, anyway, a useful thing is this timeline thing. Hide that. So you can see that, and these are all on the same scale, like the same dates. So you can see that this is all my stuff before they even did anything. They didn't do anything before this. So I'm just going to hit play right there. You can see it filling in after it'll get to May, and then it'll start filling in. See this? That is them using my program right there. And just a further proof of that is that they can't tell me who they got this stuff from. They just started up out of nowhere. And you can just individually can go look at these. See, that happened on July 7th. You can just click on it and go verify that that's true. This is there's a bunch of stuff in there. Okay. Well, let's just go. But you can see these are mine. The blue ones are me showing them where to go. And each one of these documents right here, I have all the people within this document that are right here. The exhibit. The legal description off the top, which is the location. That's what tells you where to put it on the map. And then the exhibit A, which is the respondent list. There's the people that have an interest in there. So my program strips all this out and organizes it. So that's just evidence right there. And I had spoken earlier talking about, you know, I want to get for each body, each agency that has a complaint, or I'm sorry, that has a criminal charge against me. That would to include Florida State University Police, the state's attorneys at the 14th and 2nd Judicial Circuit. I guess that's now we've got to make an exception at 2nd Judicial Circuit because Jason Newland got married to my judge. So I didn't hear that. Like, I discovered that, but they didn't tell me that. So he could also do the same thing, like do what I'm saying here. If they're on this map over here, it's likely that they're using my stuff because none of this occurred before my stuff. And it's not just Long Point Minerals, it's all these companies feeding into Long Point Minerals. Okay. The landowner probably isn't going to know anything, but if it's two companies, like for example, Boom Slang, I can just show you right to where on the Secretary of State that's Lynn's buddy, his partner. And there's a bunch of people like that. We can dig in, but all you have to do is just call any of those companies. It's not just Long Point. You can call 100 different companies, and somebody broke up with their girlfriend in the meantime, and the girl's pissed off at the boyfriend and would love to spill the beans. The same deal with some of these guys. Sam, Sam has pissed off. Sam Tallis has pissed somebody off. See, I used to be these guys' accountant, so that's how I know them. That's how they know me, is through Lynn. But anyway, you call any of those companies and say, who was the developer? Who was y'all's developer back in 2016? See, back in this time period, like before that right there. Because the program was already working by this time. And it starts up and goes gangbusters. We'll look at that. But anyway, I wanted to show a little bit about the map here. And we're going to dip over into a phone call I made to my sixth attorney. But I also got a temporary injunction from Angela. That's her method for avoiding having to answer the question. And I addressed that in my thing yesterday. And that's why I'm not conversing with her at all. This is free. This is First Amendment. Like, I'm not doing anything that's not First Amendment protected. And I don't know if it's a public record what her name is, because you can go and look at my court doc, and that's public. So I don't know what privacy she's expecting on that. And she works for the state of Florida. She doesn't work for herself. And she was my attorney. So I didn't get the letter that she wasn't my attorney until sometime later. So we need to figure out exactly what we're talking about. So I know not to do that. And I know what arguments to make, so I can start researching and all that. But in the meantime, I'm pushing this out this will go to Jason Newland and the lead investigator over there at the 14th Judicial Circuit over at Larry Bassford's. Anybody that's prosecuting me over there. Same thing with Panama City Beach Police, where I got a charge for sleeping in my car during a hurricane. The girl took off pretty quickly right after that, but the charge remains nonetheless. And I believe that there might be a concerted effort, unless that they've changed the policy on alumni at the business school. And if that's the case, like, I would have never gone to Florida State, so that's fraud in the inducement, maybe. Because I didn't know that, if I go back over there and try to maybe go to law school or re-enroll or use the library, I didn't know that I was going to be trespassed and where they can steal my car. Okay, and based upon the word of somebody that's been shown to be committing perjury on this very subject. So I didn't know that was the standard. Otherwise, I would have gone to Alabama or Georgia, where I could have also recorded phone calls, no problem. Speaking of which, so I think y'all know what I just did right there. We got the red is the transaction, and then the blue is my thing, and you can go and verify those as well, and just go click the link, and that's where it came from. I just showed you that though. Sorry about that. So we're going to try to keep it rolling here. We're going to listen to me talking to, this is what they call non-repudiation. That's a messaging pattern as well. That's like a message receipt that's non-repudiation. And I don't know whether, we have a problem with communication down there at the second, with my attorneys at least. I mean, that's at a minimum. I want to Chris can look at this right here. Well, there's a couple things. This right here, we're missing the entry 8 hours before this. Like, it starts at Barbara Hobbs, and it's really, there's an entry back over here, and I'm wondering about that. How did that happen? And I was just listening to Judge Sjostrom earlier, and I think listening to him explain how there's a couple different types of hearings, first appearance, and then a bond hearing. And I'm wondering which one. I mean, that seems it seems. I don't know. It seemed that we need to get an answer. I mean, we need to figure that out. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and play my conversation with the secretary. See, Chris and I had a misunderstanding, like on what his duties are. I mean, he shouldn't be working for the other side, but anyway, I just wanted to remind him that I'm the principal and he's the agent. So, like, he hung up as soon as I said I want to talk to the FBI. Like, he was no longer party to the conversation at that point. So I called right back, and we can see when this happened. It was 2 days ago, about this time, about an hour ago. It'll be 48 hours. It's been 49 hours approximately. So I called back, and I was going to trim out I was going to trim out what she said, but it was so negligible, and you can just hear me. And I don't think that she said anything. And, he's the new guy that's put up by the government. So he's a government agent. He's a contractor for the government. So I don't know what right to privacy that they're expecting, but I'm just going to go on his, I don't think that they're going to be upset. This girl could give me her permission after the fact. I think it's more important if Chris hasn't done any of this stuff, and we want to make sure it gets over to him and that everybody else can see that it's gotten over to him. And that's, I was talking about as a general principle, when people know that they're being watched, then they do things more correctly as a general principle. So that's the overriding reason that I'm putting it out here. If I thought that they were going and getting on the ball, I wouldn't have to do this. I hadn't heard back in 49 hours either. Okay, here we go.
Hi, this is Lance again. Let me just leave a message. It'll probably go easier that way, so we don't have to go back and forth. Since I am the principal, I'm the principal. Anyway, what I want to do, there's a couple things that I want to do. Like, the first thing that I want to do is get in touch with the FBI. Like, I want his assistance to arrange a meeting with the FBI. Okay, that's the first thing that I want to do. And then the second thing that I want to do is to request the body cam audit logs. That's critical. They haven't been able to produce it in 2 months, by the way. And I've caught them. It's official misconduct and evidence tampering. Those are felonies. That's what I've got on the police right now. Like, I can just show that to you. But the body cam audit logs are just going to show it's going to show the big picture of who all looked at those body cams and when and how they got deleted, which that's crucial. That's why they won't produce it, is because it's so devastating to their side that they can't produce it. Okay, and that's gone up to the general counsel level. The general counsel at Florida State is hiding out from me because they can't produce. I mean, they've allowed it to happen, and that's a felony also. So that's what I want. I want two things. One is to speak to the Federal Bureau of Investigation and get him to make a voluntary statement. Let's just get that going. And the body cam audit logs. Those are the two things that I want, because I've done a lot of work on it already, and I'm already. We don't need to start up again. Anyway, I will call back at some point in the future, but let's focus our efforts towards that. Okay. And I appreciate your help, by the way. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Mason, Mason. Oh, let me give you my phone number. That's critical. 850-818-2871. And my email. Sorry. Oh, well, as far as your office is concerned, I'm brand new. But as far as it's a criminal case, it's a trespassing. I'm a defendant in a trespassing case where I'm, at my alma mater, I'm a CPA from Florida State. But so it's just, you would think that it's a low priority, but it's not. That's because I developed some software in the oil industry. It's worth, they sold it for like $1.7 billion. So that's what's generating the interest to do stuff like this to me over here. Like normally CPAs don't get trespassed from their alma mater. That's just a general principle. But in this case, they're going hammer and tong. But that's because they can't produce an accounting on the other stuff. Like, I'm an accountant also, CPA. So I know what to, that's what's really got them riled up, is because I've asked for the accounting and they can't produce it without showing just a fortune. So they're doing this stuff instead of producing an accounting. That's about the value right there. But I'm very familiar with it. This thing's gone on for 650 days already. I did 50 days in jail last year. You would think, you see, like, that normally doesn't happen. It's not like I was over there, breaking bottles or something. I was just there going to the library. So it's a major thing. Anyway, y'all will see, but I don't need to. Yes. Oh. Hey, check it out. Y'all should go look at my Facebook page. That'll be a great way to get familiar with because I've been documenting this stuff for a while. So you'll be able to see the program that I've built. It's what it does is it goes and it will find all the mineral interest owners within the section, township, and range. And I don't know if you know what that is. It's this township range section. It's from the. Anyway, you can go watch me do a video of it. Just go to my Facebook, and that is it's going to be Mason V. MacArthur. That's one of my. That's the page. My name is Lance Mason. That's my, it's personal. But then if you just do the @ I believe it's @ and then Mason V. MacArthur, that will get you there also. So that will show what I'm talking about. Okay, so it's a mixture. It's a mixture between intellectual property, theft of trade secrets, and then the civil rights violations. That's plural. The reason I'm calling y'all is an instance of a civil rights violation, and y'all will see that. But anyway, that's what's on my. So anyway, I'm sorry. I appreciate you letting me just go off right there. Yes, that was like 10 minutes of just uninterrupted, just going off. I appreciate that. Okay. Hey. Okay. Bye bye.